Totem Pole Nation. We are about 2 minutes away from the selection Sunday. Obviously, Illinois did just win their conference in the Big Ten, obviously. So, they went from there and all the recruitment stuff is over. I just did a recruitment on UConn and then a recruitment on Auburn. UConn has a chance to win back-to-back championships. Auburn won the SEC title today. So all these teams that won their conference championships, they have a chance to punch in, or they're already automatically in the tournament. So March Madness Selection Sunday is about to start. Let me know in the comments who y'all like. You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments who y'all like. Don't forget to, follow Totem Pole Nation on YouTube, on Twitch, on X, on everything. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We should be on the way to 120K subscribers if we had not already. I'm going to look at the numbers and see if we even got to 120K. We're this close, right? We're this close, right? We need about 500 more viewers. 500 more subs to get to 120K subs in general. So, like I said, we are on the roll. This is March Madness. Like I said, without further ado, let's get into the March Madness Sunday. Let's do it. Well, March Madness Selection Sunday. We are here. It's 5:59, but obviously it's about to hit 6 o'clock. Daylight savings is great. The sun is still out at 6 p.m. It's not dark anymore. But today we are here to experience greatness for all teams. We're going to see who's going to be playing each other live by live update. Obviously, I would tell you which teams you can watch along. Let me know what y'all teams are. Let me know what y'all like in here, right? I've been I'm a Kentucky fan, so I know Kentucky will automatically get into the tournament. That's not concerned. I've been watching a lot of Virginia Tech basketball as of lately, watching them solely, paying attention to them. I think as a Virginia Tech person, Virginia Tech is not going to go into March Madness. That is my prediction. NC State. How about NC State winning the ACC tournament? Nobody expected that. But like I said, I'm always right, and Matt Pat was wrong. He said UNC had the top dogs, they had the guys. And I said, look, it's March Madness. That doesn't mean anything. Anybody can be all-Americans, all freshman teams. That doesn't matter because guess why? You saw what happened at SEC where Alabama, Kentucky, and Tennessee all lost their first game in the conference tournament. So none of that matters, right? March Madness, anybody can be anybody. That's what makes it great. That's what makes it special. But right now we're going to have these watch parties, and we're going to see what teams are going to make it in to March Madness as we speak. So let me know in the comments who y'all teams are. Like I said, I've watched a lot of Virginia Tech basketball, but technically I am a Kentucky fan, Kentucky Wildcats fan. We got smacked by Texas A&M. I did not see that coming, but I've already said in my previous video that anybody can beat anybody on any given day. That's just how it works. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. UConn has a chance to win a championship. UNC, even though they lost, UNC can make it far. Kansas, without their top two guys, is going to be very tough. But that depends on where this goes. McNeese State, right? Watch out for McNeese State and Will Wade. They went from 11-23 to winning 30 games. Yeah. 11-23 to winning 30 games this year. So a huge turnaround in year one. How many ACC teams can make it in there? Probably 4 or 5. A lot of ACC teams are beating up on each other. So I don't think Virginia Tech should get in, but we will figure that out within the next hour. Here comes the East. UConn is the number 1 overall seed right now. Here comes UConn is playing who Friday in Brooklyn, New York. Stetson. UConn versus Stetson on Friday in Brooklyn, New York. UConn versus Stetson. Now, I don't know where the world Stetson is at, right? Stetson is 22-12, the number 16 seed. But you have to be careful because we seen some teams get upset, right? Who's going to be number 8 and number 9 seed in the East region? Florida Atlantic at the number 8 seed right now. This game will be played in Brooklyn. So the winner of UConn and Stetson will go to the second round on Sunday. Florida Atlantic plays Northwestern. Northwestern is 21-11. Northwestern is in the tournament back-to-back years. Boo Booey is doing his thing. I mean, I'm telling you, Boo Booey has carried the team on his back. Florida Atlantic versus Northwestern on Friday. We'll give you the times. We'll update you. Coach Ball. Coach Ball is here. Coach Ball is in the house. Coach Ball, we already got 2 matchups so far in the East region. We have UConn versus Stetson on Friday in Brooklyn, New York. And we have Florida Atlantic versus Northwestern in Brooklyn, New York. And right now in the East region, we have San Diego State versus UAB. So this is March Madness Selection Sunday. Auburn is the number 4 seed as well. Auburn's going to be playing on Friday as well. Auburn plays Yale in the East region. So we got all these good matchups so far. Coach Ball, how are you feeling? We just getting started.
Coach Lambeau, man, thank you for blessing Totem Pole Nation. Totem Pole Nation, we are live. The recruiting trail is here. NCAA, March Madness. Who else do you want to be with but my main man, Coach Lambeau? Thank you for blessing me with this channel and just getting after it, Coach. Let's talk about it, man. I'm super excited. I'm a little winded right now because I'm excited. Hey, I'm here in Florida. Wow, look at all the top teams getting knocked off. Hey, this tournament is anybody's. It's anybody's. You can get in at the last seed, and hey, there might be a seat with you at the, with Destiny. I love it. Cinderella, where are you? You're all over the place. I love it. Coach Lambeau, give it to me, man. What's going on? You're live with it.
Man, we're just in the March Madness selection show. We're still in the East region as of right now. So Washington State just got in the tournament. Washington State is in the tournament. All these small schools that you normally hear of in football, they're making history in basketball. So you have BYU versus the Kinskade. The Kinskade just beat VCU in the conference tournament. You have Illinois versus Morehead State. And Thursday you have Washington State versus Drake. Drake is a team that you don't want to sleep on. Drake is 28-6 right now, right? Drake is a team you don't want to sleep on. How about Iowa State, by the way? Iowa State beat the crap out of Houston. Iowa State. Wow. The Big 12 champs go ahead and smack Houston. And right, they're the number 2 seed right now. Who they're going to be playing on Thursday? Iowa State is going to be playing, once they pick, South Dakota State. So the East region looks like it's wrapped up in the books. Like I said, be careful. 2 seed versus 15 seeds. Coach Ball, how many times have you seen the 15 seeds go to the number 2 seeds? We've seen it.
What has happened? It has happened before. I think there was a University of Richmond team that, might have beat a Syracuse back in the day. You know what I mean? It's possible. That's why we love it. It's March Madness. Anything goes. Let's freaking go.
Anything goes. Coach Ball, let's shift to the NFL real quick. How do you feel about the Steelers and Kenny Pickett, right? Kenny Pickett gets traded, and then they get Justin Fields. So the quarterback room in the Steelers is Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. How do you feel about that, Coach Ball?
I'm going to tell you this. You're out of your mind if you're an NFL football team and you can get Justin Fields in the 6th freaking round. That is a steal by the who? Steelers. That's what they do. That's why they've won so many championships, because they make moves like that. Now you got a quarterback room with arguably, a guy that's already been to a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl, Russell Wilson. And who do you got, backing him up, pushing him? A guy by the name of Justin Fields. And guess what? You look on Justin Fields' shoulder, guess what? There is a huge, huge chip on his shoulder. And that's what makes people want to be better. That move to me by the Steelers is what makes them the Pittsburgh Steelers. One of the most hated football teams, unfortunately, but this is why these guys win. That's why Mike Tomlin has been coaching in the NFL longer than anybody else. Because guess what? They figured out the process. They figured out the blueprint. I love the VA guys connected. You got Tomlin, William and Mary grad, and you got Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson went to high school right there in Richmond, VA. So I love that. I think them getting Justin Fields for the bare minimum. And guess what? So he learns the system. Next year, he takes over as the starter, possibly if Russell doesn't blow it up. Why don't Russell Wilson do the same thing that Baker Mayfield did? Baker Mayfield show you what the blueprint is. If you have a one-year deal and you want to bet on yourself, just do what Baker Mayfield did.
You gotta do what Baker Mayfield does. Like I said, Baker Mayfield has weapons around him, but also I think part of that too, Coach Ball, is Mike Tomlin's on the hot seat. Now I understand Mike Tomlin has had 17 straight seasons without a losing record, but the Steelers organization is saying it's not good enough. Your 9-7s, your 10-7s are not good enough, right? Because you get to the playoffs and you're not competitive. They were not competitive against the Buffalo Bills. Nowhere close to being competitive. They're not competitive in the playoffs. They got blown out by the Bucks. The year before, they got blown out by the Kansas City Chiefs when they put up 35 points on them on Sunday Night Football. So they're not competitive. Mike Tomlin's job is on the hot seat. I respect him as a head coach, but Mike Tomlin has underachieved with the talent that he has had. He has not won a Super Bowl since 2008. He had Antonio Brown. He's had plenty of receivers, Le'Veon Bell. I understand Big Ben Roethlisberger maybe retired 3 years a little bit too later, but it's not an excuse to not have a succession at quarterback. And he realizes that Kenny Pickett was never even the answer.
Hey,
Look
man.
at the quarterback room he had. He had Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky. You're telling me those quarterbacks can get you to win a championship when you have quarterbacks at AFC like a Lamar Jackson, a Justin Herbert, a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow. You're telling me that quarterback room is going to get in there? No, that's just not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all. And I don't like the Steelers, but I'm not signing Russell Wilson. Okay, that's experience, but I'm not like blown out the water like what the Giants did with Brian Burns or what the Eagles did with Saquon Barkley. I'm not blown out the window by that. It's just like, okay, they got a quarterback. But the Steelers are supposed to get a quarterback 5 years ago, right? But it just never did that. So Mike Tomlin's on a hot seat. I think the Steelers would. I wouldn't be surprised they barely win 11 games. We'll see. But in the AFC North, I'm betting money on the Ravens or the Bengals to win the conference or to win the division. That's my team.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Like you said, man, I mean, that's a brutal division right there. I mean, look what Cleveland did. Like, I know Deshaun is their guy, but bringing in a guy like Jameis Winston, they want to win right now. So I like what they did. That's a fiery pick. Jameis Winston is going to make Deshaun Watson better and vice versa. I think they both make each other better. That division is brutal. Ravens getting Derrick Henry. Holy cow. You're talking about one of the most physical football teams in the league, just adding one of the best running backs of all time. Like literally,
Yeah.
like put him up there. He's had a 2,000-yard game. 2,000-yard season. I would bet the house on him having one next year. Why? Because defenses are going to be ready for Lamar. If you're an offensive line coach, who would you rather coach than those two? Lamar Jackson, arguably the best running quarterback of all time, and Derrick Henry. This guy's 6'4". He's 250 pounds of pure whoop ass. That's your starting tailback right there. These guys are going to come in there with a chip on their shoulder. They know how far they've gone this past year. I think they're going to have the pedigree to push it to the limit. Harbaugh knows how to win football games. And I tell you what, I think the sky is the limit for those guys. The Bengals, they have not had the best offseason. They don't have the money. They're in the same area as the Buffalo Bills. So I think you're seeing two teams with the Bengals and the Bills that they're the only way those guys are going to do it is they're going to have to outscore people. It's going to be a shootout. You know what I mean? I like what Baltimore does because Baltimore always plays good defense. You know, I don't know if it's just, their pedigree or what, but they play good defense.
I think Coach Bald is on mute. Coach Bald is on mute. Coach Bald, I think you're muted. Coach Bald is muted. So until Coach Bald gets back and he's muted. So I'm trying to see he's muted. Coach Bald is muted. For right now, he's muted. Let's see. Right, Coach Bald is muted. So until Coach Bald gets back, Coach Bald, Coach Bald. Oh, Coach Ball has a little bit of a connection issue. But looking at the South region, right, we have we'll go back to the South region in a second. But right now, I'll get back to the teams that we definitely missed, right? Texas Tech is the number 6 seed. They'll be playing in Pittsburgh on Thursday as well. And they're playing NC State, Tech's Coach Ball, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tech's Coach Ball. Bad connection. So we'll get Coach Ball back on here soon. Texas Tech plays NC State in the South region Thursday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's see who plays. NC State did just win the ACC tournament. Kentucky, my team in Kentucky is the number 3 seed right now. Coach Ball is back in here. So we have Texas Tech versus NC State in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And Thursday we have Kentucky, who's the number 3 seed in the South region. And the number 14 seed that we playing is Oakland. Oakland is a 23-11. Of course, I'll go back into the rest of the South region that we missed. But the South region is about to be completed. Number 7 seed at Florida. Florida just lost in the SEC championship game today to an Auburn team. They will be playing in Indianapolis, Indiana. The number 10 seed that Florida will be playing is the winner of Boise State and Colorado in the first 4 on Tuesday. Whoever wins that first game, Florida will be playing Boise State and Colorado. The number 2 seed, the last in the South region, will be playing in Indianapolis, Indiana. The number 2 seed in the South region will be, as they still picking. By the way, Duke is number 2 seed as well. I'll let you know who Duke is playing. Marquette and Shaka Smart are the number 2 seed in the South region. Shaka Smart, coach at BCB. Shaka Smart, coach at Texas. Shaka Smart and Marquette, they lost to UConn in the championship game. But the number 15 seed that that Marquette will be playing is Western Kentucky. Watch out, as Western Kentucky has a possible upset to beat Marquette, right? And then going into the South region for the earlier games, obviously, Houston versus Longwood. Longwood is number 16 seed. Nebraska versus A&M. Wisconsin versus James Madison. And Duke versus Vermont. Coach Ball, how do you feel about these matches in the South region?
Hey, man, I'm telling you, it's the dirty South, baby. That's how we roll. I love it. I love seeing those combinations of teams make it. I mean, what NC State did, the North Carolina State, the Wolfpack, baby. Hey, bring it in, Wolfpack. Yeah, bring it in. But the Wolfpack,
yep.
Get in. You know what? It's anybody's tournament. That's the best thing about this. It's the best time in the world. We love college football. We love how they have the 4 teams and they're about to upgrade. But nothing is better than what we're doing right now with the men's March Madness. I'm a little winded right now because I'm excited. You going live on live right now means everything. I'm not able to watch it, but that's okay. I'm able to explain myself and just predict the unpredictable. I love it. You know, you got a huge game right now, I think, going on. What is it, Illinois and Wisconsin, right?
Illinois did win. Illinois won.
Okay, gotcha. And I love Illinois, man. I love what they do, you know, at both ends of the – but the most unbelievable part about this whole thing, Lambo, the four best teams. The four best teams we're talking about right now. You know, arguably Houston, North Carolina. You know, who you know everybody fell yesterday. Everybody fell. Tennessee, man. Tennessee's been on fire. All your top tier teams have taken one on the chin. Is that a good thing? You know, is it a good thing to get it out of the way now and now you're going to make a run? Nobody knows. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're here at Totem Pole Nation. That's why we're talking the recruiting trail with my main man, Lambo. If you guys aren't subbing Lambo, subscribing to him, following him, what the hell is wrong with you guys? This guy loves the game, okay? He loves sports. And he doesn't limit himself to just one sport. He loves it all. Why not? He's the man. Thank you for having me, Coach Lambo. I got to roll. I'm
Yes,
about
sir.
to jump in this water, catch this dolphin, and hey, root for the Florida teams. But I love you, buddy. Thank you for having me, man. I can't wait till we do
Yes,
this
sir.
again tomorrow. Woo!
Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing the bracketology tomorrow. We're going to do the men's and we're going to do the women. So we'll see who's going to win the Final Four as all this is picked tonight. We want to thank you, Coach Ball, Mr. President of Totem Pole. We want to thank Coach Ball for the greatness. He said he's about to jump in the pool and do some magic. But the East region and the South region have been completed once again. So, like I said, we got We got the West and the Midwest that has to be completed as we speak. But we want to thank you to all you Totem Pole fans that came in here. We appreciate you for everything you've done. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to Totem Pole Nation. As I said, but I'm gonna go over the bracket stuff again. I think once it gets posted up there in a second. But we there is some things that has to happen, right? The tournament is on its way. Auburn won the SEC championship game with 27 games. They won. The bracket is going on. This is the March Madness Selection Sunday. So if you just got in, we already got some matchups that came in as well. I will try my best to go back over these matchups sooner than later. But for the South region, I want to look at the South region real quick. So the South region, right? We got Texas Tech versus NC State. We got Kentucky versus Oakland. We have Florida versus the winner of Tuesday's game of Boise State and Colorado. And we have Marquette versus Northwestern. Also in the South region as well, we have Houston versus Longwood. We have Nebraska versus Texas A&M. We have Wisconsin versus James Madison. We have Duke versus Vermont, right? So that's the South region. We're going to fast forward to make sure I don't miss anything. I'll get back to the East region in a second. Don't forget to comment if you have any questions, comments, and concerns. Tell me what your favorite team is because March Madness is on the way to Road to Greatness. The March Madness thing is back now. It was on commercial for a second, so that's why we were talking some football. But the selection show is going to be about an hour for the men's, and then I'm going to talk about the women's tonight too. So the women's tonight is going to be at 8:00 right after this. But we already filled up to half the bracket, right? Or 68 teams, right? So we already filled half the bracket. We are about to get started with the other half of the bracket in a second. We are headed into the Midwest region, right? The number one seed is going to be Purdue. Purdue and Zach Edey. Purdue has won a multiple of 25 plus games last 3 years. Purdue is going to play in Indianapolis against the winner of Montana State and Grambling State, right? Whoever wins between Montana State and Grambling State will play Purdue on Friday. Friday is going to be a lot of excellent and exciting matchups in college basketball. In the Midwest region, you have Purdue versus the winner of Montana State and Grambling State. I think that game will be played on Wednesday, and we'll get you the whole schedule in a second. The number 8 seed, Utah State, right? Utah State has been into a rebuild. Utah State is back in the dance. Obviously, the number 8 seed. The number 9 seed, who does Utah State play on Friday in Indianapolis? TCU. TCU In the Big 12, obviously they got blown out by Houston, obviously, but number 8, Utah State versus TCU at number 9, right? Thursday, this game will be played in Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, nobody wants to go to Utah. I'm not going to go to Utah. Number 5 seed in Gonzaga. Gonzaga's been a pretty quiet team this season. We hadn't talked a lot about Gonzaga. We talked about UConn. We talked about UNC. But guess who Gonzaga plays? McNeese State and Will Wade. Will Wade rebuild that program? McNeese State has won 30 games. Oh, Lord. I might pick McNeese State to upset Gonzaga. McNeese State will make history on Thursday, and they will upset Gonzaga. Number 5 seed Gonzaga versus McNeese State. McNeese has only lost 3 games. Gonzaga has lost 7. But I'm going to pick McNeese State to beat Gonzaga. Kansas is the number 4 seed in the Midwest. Who are they going to play? The number 13 seed in Salt Lake City, Utah. Kansas is going to play Sanford. Sanford has lost 5 games. Sanford is a team that you might want to watch out for, right? When it comes to Kansas, Kansas has lost about 2 guys that did not play in the Big 12. Hopefully they come back very, very healthy. Hunter Dickerson didn't play. Dickerson, their big guy, didn't play. Their other point guard did not play due to injury. So that is the Midwest region. Purdue plays the winner of Montana State, Grambling State, Utah State versus TCU, Gonzaga versus McNeese State, and Kansas versus Sanford. So now, the other part of the Midwest region that we're going to speak on, right? The other part that we're going to speak on is South Carolina. South Carolina was close to winning the title. They were close to winning the SEC title in the regular season. South Carolina, the head coach, had a contract extension as well. South Carolina plays Thursday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania versus 11 seed Oregon, right? South Carolina versus Oregon will be played on Thursday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Number 3 seed, Creighton, right? Creighton is number 3 seed right now. Creighton got some dogs. Creighton's definitely got some size looking at this right now. Creighton has some size. They have some big dogs in here, right? So Creighton is going to play the number 14 seed in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Creighton is going to play Akron, right? Akron, LeBron James, Cleveland, Akron. Akron means LeBron James, right? The greatest player in this generation of all time. Number 7 seed in Charlotte, North Carolina. Texas is 20-12. Texas plays the winner of Virginia and Colorado State. Virginia's the first 4 in. Virginia didn't look so good in the tournament. So luckily Virginia, whoever wins between Virginia and Colorado State in the first 4 on Tuesday will play Texas on Thursday in Charlotte, North Carolina. So Tennessee is the number 2 seed. Tennessee is number 2 seed. We were talking about that. Me and Coach Ball were talking about that, right? Number 2 seed in Tennessee. They lost. They didn't even win the SEC title. Auburn did. Tennessee is going to play number 15 seed. Who they're going to play? They're going to play 5-4 St. Peter's. St. Peter's, right? Tennessee versus St. Peter's. They're 19-13. They barely got in. St. Peter's, I think, did play for the conference championship, and they did lose. But look at the schedule. Look at the bracket. Purdue plays the winner of Montana State, Grambling State, Utah State, TCU, Gonzaga, McNeese, Kansas, and Sanford. And then also in the other rankings of the line as well. That is it for the Midwest region. If I can go back. And then, of course, you have South Carolina versus Oregon. Then you have Creighton versus Akron. Then you have Texas plays the winner of Virginia and Colorado State in the first 4 on Tuesday. And then you have Tennessee versus St. Peter's. So that is your matchups for the Midwest region. And I think the last one, we go to the West. So far, Virginia Tech is not in there. So please do not tell me about Virginia Tech. Looks like Virginia Tech is going to the NIT this year, right? That's what it looks like they're going. It looks like Virginia Tech is going to the NIT, unless they're in the West. Now, I doubt Virginia Tech's going to be in the West. I just doubt it. But we will see how it goes. Virginia Tech has not been including in there. But NC State looks like UNC is probably going to be in the West. So the number 1 seed is probably going to be UNC. Right? So we'll see how many teams they get. Like I said, once this ends, I will go back and see all these matchups, but the society matchup I'm willing to watch. Gonzaga and McNeese is a game to watch. Tennessee versus St. Peter's is the game to watch as well. And of course, we're gonna get into the women's bracket as well at 8 o'clock. So I will live stream the women's bracket as well. But we're gonna get into this bracket. We're gonna get into this bracket. I promise you. So we still got Clemson left, NC State, no, make New Mexico State left, Nevada. So we still got some teams left. We'll see if they somewhat make it once again. So we will see how this goes. Now, don't forget to comment what your favorite team is. I'm trying to get a live. I'm trying to get a live update, but I guess I can't. Right. So I guess I got a little bit of an update. Right. So Memphis, right, and the South Regional pairings, right. Number 1, Houston's going to play Longwood. Number 8, Nebraska's going to play 9 a.m. Texas A&M. And this is for the people that just came into the show. I just kind of want to get you back and rely on it. In Brooklyn, number 5, Wisconsin versus number 12, James Madison. Number 4, Duke versus number 13, Vermont. In Pittsburgh, Texas Tech versus North Carolina State. Number 3, Kentucky versus Oakland. In Indianapolis, number 7, Florida plays the winner of Boise State and Colorado. Number 2, Marquette versus 15th Western Kentucky. In the East, in Brooklyn, number 1, Connecticut, the defending national champions, will play Stetson. Number 8, Florida Atlantic plays number 9, Northwestern. And Washington, number 5, San Diego State plays number 12, Alabama Birmingham. Number 4, Auburn plays number 13, Yale. In Omaha, number 6, Birmingham Young plays Denise. Number 3, Illinois plays Morehead State. Number 7, Washington State plays Drake, and Iowa State plays North Dakota State. This is the bracket for so far. Of course, we'll get into the East region, and of course, like I said, I will eventually go back. I'll eventually go back and revamp after the selection. I'm gonna go back. We're gonna look at the schedule. Because like I said, I'm off on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So guess what I'm gonna be doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Watch March Madness, watch college basketball, because it's going to be upsets, it's going to be alerts. Now, as far as betting, we'll get into the betting stuff as well. I advise you to not bet on the top dogs in the first round. Now, I know there's a thing that says don't listen to what I gotta say when it comes to betting, but I'm always right. Just like when Matt Pat was wrong when he thought UNC was going to be NC State. I said, no. NC State had the momentum. When you play in the first round and you play 5 consecutive games in 5 days, that only gives you the momentum. When you have a bye, you get a little bit rusty. Now, UNC just was in shock, right? But I will get into that stuff later. But if you're betting, bet on the underdogs. Bet on the upset. Bet on McNeese beating Gonzaga. Bet on McNeese beating Gonzaga. Hear me one more time when I say this. Bet on McNeese beating Gonzaga. I promise you, McNeese is going to beat Gonzaga, right? They're going to beat them. This is back on. We're going to go to the West region now, right? North Carolina is number 1 seed. North Carolina, they lost the championship last night as we were watching. North Carolina's number 1 seed in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is a home game for them, right? This is a home game for them. North Carolina plays number 16 seed, and the winner of Howard and Wagner, right? The winner of Tuesday's game against Howard and Wagner will play North Carolina on Thursday. I don't see any potential of Howard and Wagner upsetting UNC, but I don't know. Mississippi State in Charlotte, North Carolina is number 8 seed. Who is the number 9 seed that Mississippi State will be playing? Mississippi State will be playing Michigan State. Michigan State barely got in the tournament. I know they played the most toughest conference in all of America in the Big Ten. Very tough conference. Michigan State barely made it in. Friday, number 5 seed. The number 5 seed in this will be St. Mary's. St. Mary's, the number 5 seed. They lost 7 games. St. Mary's is a team you really want to watch out for. St. Mary's had made some noise in the past. Do not sleep on St. Mary's, right? But who does St. Mary's play? We seen the number 12 seeds upset the number 5 seeds, right? Number 12 seed in St. Mary's is going to be Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon at 29-4, right? So Grand Canyon could be making some noise with a potential upset. We see number 12 seeds upset the number 5 seed. Like I said, it's March Madness. It does not matter what happens. Don't pick the top dogs to win because we might not see that. We might see St. Peter's upset Tennessee. We never know what's going to happen, right? So number 4 seed in the West region is Alabama, right? Alabama right here. Alabama has improved. Alabama's fell off a little bit. Alabama was one of the teams with Tennessee and Kentucky. They played Charleston, right? Charleston, number 13 seed. Charleston's only lost 7 games. Alabama's lost 11 games. Don't be surprised if Charleston upsets Alabama. Number 13 seed upsetting number 4 seed. The number 6 seed on Friday, Clemson, right? Clemson will be playing in Memphis, Tennessee, right? Clemson is number 6 seed. They'll play number 11 seed. Who is going to be that team, right? The number 11 will be New Mexico, right? New Mexico will probably have a potential to upset Clemson, right? New Mexico versus Clemson in the West. This is the West bracket. Once this is done, I will go back to all the potential matchups that are going to happen, right? Number 3 seed is Baylor, right? Baylor did win a championship about 2 years ago. Baylor's number 3 seed. This game will be played in Memphis, Tennessee. They'll play Colgate, the number 14 seed, right? Not really much surprise. Baylor didn't struggle here and there, but Baylor is a team that you probably want to watch out for as well. Number 7 seed, Dayton. Dayton's number 7 seed. This game will be played Thursday in Salt Lake City, Utah. This game will be played. Who does Dayton play at the number 10 seed? Dayton will be playing Nevada, right? We've seen number 10 seeds upset number 7 seeds. I wouldn't be surprised if I go for Nevada to beat Dayton. And I will get into my predictions why. Nevada probably beats Dayton. That's my upset pick right there. Number 10 seed beats Dayton. The final bracket, Arizona, right? Arizona, number 2 seed. Arizona has made some noise. You had the transfer Caleb Love out of UNC. He's making some noise. He won Pac-12 Player of the Year, I think. So Arizona does play. The number 15 seed, Arizona plays in Salt Lake City, Utah. Long Beach State. So I told you Virginia Tech wasn't going into March Madness. It looks like Virginia Tech will be announced into the NIT tonight after the women's. So Virginia Tech is not in there. Looking at this West region, North Carolina plays the winner of Howard and Wagner. Mississippi State versus Michigan State. St. Mary's versus Grand Canyon. Alabama versus Charleston. So it looks like the bracket has been fully complete. The lower seeds have a chance to get upset, right? Number 12 seed could upset a 5 seed. The 8 and 9 seeds could go either way. 13 seed and the 4 seed, I think Charleston does have a potential to upset Alabama. Oakland and Kentucky, that's going to be a tough one in Pittsburgh. We will see how all this goes. We'll give you what times they'll play and stuff and here and there. But I promise you, number 1 seeds, West region, UNC is number 1 seed at 27-7. East region, UConn is number 1 seed at 31-3. The South region, Houston is number 1 seed at 30-4. Right? Midwest region, Purdue is 29-4. Those are your number 1 seeds, right? In the West, in the South, in the East, and the Midwest, right? What about the West region? Let's talk about, Clemson versus New Mexico. What's up, Dakota? March Madness basketball. Dakota, you already know. Thank you for tuning in. You got Baylor versus Colgate, Dayton versus Nevada, and Arizona versus Long Beach State. Like I said, I'm going to pick Nevada to beat Dayton. Oh, yes. I'm going to pick Nevada to beat Dayton, right? Upsets very early on. It's going to be make history. History comes a long way. But this bracket does come to an end. Whatever teams that got robbed, Virginia Tech ain't getting in there. They didn't get robbed. So the conference with multiple bids. 8 bids for the Big 12, 8 from the SEC, 6 from the Big 10, 6 for the Mountain West, 5 for the ACC, 4 for the Pac 12. Last 4 in and first 4 out. Last 4 in was Boise State, Colorado, Virginia, and Colorado State. First 4 out: Oklahoma, Seton Hall, Indiana State, and Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh didn't make the tournament. Yeah, Pittsburgh. I thought Pittsburgh was very impressive. Virginia shouldn't be in the tournament. Let's be real. Virginia is god awful. I'd rather have Pittsburgh in the tournament than Virginia. But I guess Virginia just has the reputation of losing in the first round. But Virginia barely made it in. Virginia barely made it in, and Pittsburgh was out. I swear, if I'm correct or not correct, didn't Pittsburgh have a better record than UVA? And I was at the Tech game versus UVA. UVA lost by 30 points. This is something. This is something. The bracket, right? So every team has been filled from the East, the Midwest, the West, and the South. All the teams have been filled. If you want to go onto the bracket, go on the NCAA website, go to ESPN, go fill out the brackets. But like I said, most of the selection show is done. It should be updated on the website, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to announce all of the matchups one more time, and then I'm going to make my predictions on here. I'll make all my predictions. I might change them tomorrow once we do this bracketology stuff. So number 1 seeds is going to be UConn, Houston, Purdue, and UNC. All right, those are your number 1 seeds. Now, the first round starts on Thursday and Friday, right? The second round starts on Saturday and Sunday, right? The Sweet 16 starts on Thursday and Friday. And, of course, my birthday weekend is when the Elite 8 starts on Saturday and Sunday. The championship game is on April 8th. The championship game is on a Monday, right? So let me start in the East region, right? UConn versus Stetson. I'm going to pick UConn to beat Stetson, right? Now let me do something real quick, right? Let me do something. Let me do something real quick, right? Let me create a bracket. Let me create a bracket, and I'm gonna share it on here. Let me do that. I mean, 1 second, because I think I can go ahead and share this. Or I can share it on NCAA bracket, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can actually play it like this. Am I allowed to play it on here? That's what I'm going to do. Just give me 1 second, because I'm trying to play this little bracket thing. I'm going to play the bracket challenge. Right? Stay with me for a second, because I'm gonna try to play this bracket challenge. Just stay with me for a second, because I wanna share it real quick. Now, obviously, we're gonna do a video on this with me and Matt tomorrow. We're gonna do this tomorrow, but I just want to share it very, 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 very quick. I gotta do a little something. I don't know why. Just give me 1 second. All right, so I'm gonna do the bracket challenge. I'm about to share the screen right now. Um, about to share it, and then we're gonna do the picks. We're gonna do the picks again. I'm about to do this now. It's loaded. I don't know why I had to do some auto pick by custom analyst or auto pick by seed. I don't want to auto pick shit. I don't want to auto pick shit. All right, so I'm about to share it now. I'm about to share it now. I don't want to auto. I don't want to auto pick anything. I don't want to auto pick nothing. How many people? How many people are staying here? So we got about 78 people here. That's great, right? I'm about to do this. If it doesn't work, I'll do it tomorrow. I apologize. Right? Well, it's not letting me do it. I don't know why it's not letting me do it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird why it's not letting me do it. I'm gonna try ESPN, but ESPN is gonna be weird. So I'm just gonna do it. Actually, I got a way I can do it now. Watch. I'm gonna do it like this. I can't actually pick it, but if y'all can see it, there you go. I'll make it a little bigger for y'all. There you go. Right. So I'm gonna start with the East. Right. UConn versus Stetson. I'm gonna go ahead and pick UConn. FAU versus Northwestern. Northwestern has a lot of injuries. I'm gonna pick Florida Atlantic. San Diego State versus UAB. I'm gonna go ahead and pick San Diego State. Auburn versus Yale. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Yale. BYU and DeQuincy. I'm gonna pick DeQuincy to upset BYU. Illinois versus Morehead State. Give me the upset. I'm going Morehead State. Washington versus Drake. I'm going to go ahead and pick Drake. Iowa State versus South Dakota State. I think Iowa State is not as good as they once were. I'm gonna go ahead and pick what's it called? South Dakota State. On the South, Houston versus Longwood. I'm gonna go ahead and pick um, Houston. Nebraska versus A&M. I'm going to pick A&M. Wisconsin versus James Madison. Give me the upset one, James Madison. Duke versus Vermont. I'll go Duke, but I won't be mad if they lose. A&M versus, Texas Tech versus NC State. I'm going NC State. Kentucky versus Oakland. I'm going to go Kentucky. Florida plays the winner of whoever. We'll figure that out later. Marquette versus Western Kentucky. Give me Marquette. Right. North Carolina play the winner of whoever. I'm going to go through the first four. The first four starts on Tuesday. So you got Wagner versus Howard at Tuesday at 6:30. And then you got Virginia versus Colorado State, Montana versus Grambling, and Boise State versus Colorado. First four. Let me just go to that first. First four, give me Colorado to beat Boise State. Give me Montana State to beat Grambling. Give me Colorado State to upset Virginia. Give me Howard to upset Wagner. In the West, give me Mississippi State to beat Michigan State. Give me Grand Canyon to beat St. Mary's. Give me Alabama to beat Charleston. Give me New Mexico to beat Clemson. Give me Baylor to beat Colgate. Give me Nevada versus Nevada over Dayton. Give me Long Beach State. No, give me Arizona over Long Beach State. Give me St. Peter's over Tennessee. Give me Creighton versus over Akron. Give me South Carolina over Oregon. Give me if Kansas two healthy guys aren't back, give me Sanford to upset Kansas. Give me McNeese to upset Gonzaga. Give me Utah State to beat TCU. Right. That's all I'm gonna go through. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing because we're gonna do a challenge on this. Me and Matt Perry are gonna do a challenge on this tomorrow. So I'm not gonna go through a whole bracket just yet. Right. I'm gonna save my picks, but those are my round one picks. Obviously, I will go over them again tomorrow. But like I said, this is it for the watch party. I will be doing the women's watch party in an hour. In 1 hour, come back here, Totem Pole Nation. Want you to like, comment, subscribe. We want to thank you for supporting our fans. Don't forget, we got to get to 120K subs, obviously. So we'll see how that goes. Get to 120K subs. Thank you, Totem Pole Nation. We'll be back in an hour for the women's tournament as well. And, of course, the NIT. Some teams that were robbed that didn't make the tournament, we will go back in there as well. But this is Lambo. We'll be back at 8 o'clock for the women's tournament, obviously. Totem Pole Nation. Peace out.